Welcome everyone, I hope you're staying safe and happy. It's Mr. Ethan and today we're going to do some tie-dyeing and talk about color science. First, ask your parents for permission and help when following along today and make sure you have a clear, safe area to complete this activity. The items you'll need for this activity are your dyes, your gloves, your rubber bands, and then also something light colored you can tie-dye in a bucket or garbage bag so we don't stain your sink or tub. Today, I have a bucket. Today, we're going to tie-dye some masks so we can stay safe but fashionable when we go to school, the store, or your local club. First, let's talk about color. Do you know why we see the colors reflected around us in the world today? Do you know why this orange right here is orange? Let me tell you. The light we see actually carries all of the colors inside of it. This is called the visible light spectrum. A good example of this is a rainbow. When sunlight hits water droplets in the air after it rains, it bends the light so we're able to see the color the light has inside of it. So why is this orange orange? Some things in the world are better than others at absorbing different kinds of light or colors. For example, this orange right here is very good at absorbing all of the blue colors of the spectrum we talked about earlier and is reflecting back to us all of the reds and the yellows, and that is why this orange is orange. Now let's talk about tie-dye. Before 1856, when dyes like this right here were invented, we had to dye all of our clothes through plants and natural sources we found around us. For example, you could smash up these raspberries to get a red dye, or you could smash up blueberries to get a bluish purple dye. But in 1856, the scientist William Henry Perkin accidentally produced a light purple dye when trying to produce a treatment for malaria. From then on, we created all the synthetic dyes or chemically made dyes we have today. Now I want you to put on your gloves and get ready to do some tie-dyeing. First, we're going to take our masks or whatever you choose to dye and crunch it up into a ball, like so. Then, take some of your rubber bands and put them around the object you're going to be tie-dyeing. Just like this. Once you have your object secured with the rubber bands, we're going to soak it in the water to get it wet. I like to put mine under the sink faucet. Now you can put the item you're tie-dyeing in your bucket or garbage bag. This is the fun part. Take your dye or dyes and squirt it onto the items you're tie-dyeing. While doing this, think about the colors you are using. If you're using red and yellow, you will get some orange because the colors will mix. If you're using red and blue, you might get some purple. After you've applied your dye to the item you're tie-dyeing, you will let it sit for a little bit. The longer you wait, the darker the colors will be. I like to wait 2 to 3 hours. After we are done waiting, you'll want to throw the item you're tie-dyeing in the wash. Make sure you wash it by itself, otherwise it might stain the other items of clothing in the washer. It might take 1 to 2 washes to get all the extra dye out. Once you're done and you dry your item off, you have a cool tie-dye design left over. Thank you for watching today. I hope you had fun and learned something about colors. Make sure you share your creations to the families of the Boys and Girls of Dane County Facebook page. Stay safe and be well, everyone.